Good morning, Dr. Gary on the road again. We are dental practice brokers and we sell dental practices. We make the union between the buyer and the seller, and we put those together. We've been doing this for 11 years now. I was a dentist for 25, and we're moving forward. We're in 16 states now, and we are excited. Our website is dentalpracticeguide.com. Our phone number is 201-663-0935. Please give us a call. We work 363 days a year. We take off Christmas and Easter. We're always available to you. In fact, the only time we don't answer the phone is when I'm swimming in the ocean or flying. So please call us and we can chat about any topic you want in the selling of dental practices or the purchasing of dental practices. Our number is 201-663-0935. Website is dentalpracticeguide.com. So anyway, moving along, we try to bring you real-time, up-to-date, today's information of the events that happen out there. Since we work 7 days a week, it is constantly moving in the sale of dental practices. So what happened and by the way, this is for entertainment purposes. Do not use it for legal advice or business advice. Speak to your professionals. So this happened yesterday. I got a phone call. It took almost 3 years to sell this doctor's practice. 3 years. The title of this segment is 3 years to sell a dental practice. Why so long? Well, they generally don't take that much time. Usually 6 to 12 months, 6 to 9 months, you've gone to closing and completion. Sometimes significantly faster. Our fastest we've ever done, I think, was 10 days to closing. And then another one, we went to, it took like 2.5 years. It was crazy. It's all different circumstances. Majority of them will sell 6 to 9 months. It's sold. If it's a hot practice, it'll sell faster than that, sometimes right away. But anyway, this was an extraordinary one, but it did take a long time. The situation was this. It was a bit unique. The doctor had to move out of his present building because the building got condemned and was going to be, they had to do all kinds of structural problems, foundation problems. There was no way he was moving back there. It was going to take way too long, contaminated building, just forget it. Had to move out, so we moved in with a buddy of his, not too far away, about 2 miles away from his office, and he became a subletter. It worked out well because he's only working part-time, significantly reduced his overhead for rent, and he just got used to it. And the practice didn't grow much. It was like, he's only doing it part-time, but it was still a lively practice, and he did have some pretty good skills. So it took, he was there for about 3 years. And at that time, he didn't want to start another office. He didn't want to go. He just kept subletting. But then, it was time to move on. So he essentially was selling patient records, which you think would be easier. But the problem was nobody wanted to pay for them up front. Everybody wanted to pay upon income. That is, pay a percentage of the dollars that came in, and they wanted to work for him. He was not comfortable with that. And we kept getting offers like that again and again and again. And then finally, we found somebody, and then we almost went to closing. Contracts are going back and forth. Buyer got cold feet. He was afraid. Well, he wasn't aware of the transition. And at this point, the price had already been reduced to like 25% of gross. Again, this is a record sale. He's moving from one place to another. So that whole process of trying to sell the records and finally getting somebody and waiting for him to get financing, and then he got delayed and he said he wasn't ready, then we were finally ready. That took over 6 months. So finally, we were going to go to closing. The deal fell apart because the buyer got closed. Now we're almost at 7 months. The doctor got, frustrated, and we put it back on the market. But there weren't that many people in that region that, wanted the records, because if it's a record sale, you want it to be relatively close to your office. So then we put it on the market, and another period of time went by, almost another year. So now we're at 1 year and 7 months. Finally, it started to pick up again. We started to market it. And, we tried to help them out. Obviously, it wasn't a big money maker for us. Practice was only grossing like $275. But we were trying to help them out. And so it was about a year and 7 months had gone by. And we tried marketing it again and again. It wasn't moving. And then we went through another cycle where we did have people interested. They did want to finally buy it. We, of course, lost time through the pandemic, so you lost another 4 or 5 months right there. So that put us at about, that put us at like at two and a half years, or 2 years and 2 months, somewhere around there. So we were at 2 years and 2 months at that point. Then we started marketing it again. So finally, yesterday, the deal closed, bringing us to almost 3 years. And it was crazy. These things do happen on lower cost practices. It shouldn't go this long, but sometimes people ask, well, how long is it going to take to sell? The answer is 6 to 9 months usually. That's from start day one to finish. The shortest I've done it is 10.5 days. It did actually happen. The longest used to be 2.5 years one took, but the circumstances are always different. But you do have a circumstance here. It took 3 years, but he finally sold it. And that does happen sometimes. If you have a low grossing practice, it's tough. Now, we just sold another one with real estate in a building. That took a year and a half, close to 2 years. So lower grossing, it will take you a long time. So once again, the title here, why did it take 3 years to sell my dental practice? Each circumstance is different. But if you have a low grossing practice, I think the real message is you've got to get that practice on the market much earlier than you think. Under the worst circumstances, that in your mind, you sell it rapidly. Well, okay, you delay the closing, or maybe you work for the doctor. But if you're a lower grossing practice, give yourself 2 years at least, because it may take sometimes really long, despite how much marketing, advertising, website. And we market them like crazy. We're in multiple platforms. We answer the phone 24/7. We support the buyer. We vet the buyer before they come in. We get them the financing. We get the buyer and seller together with the right attorneys. We prepare the buyer by pre-qualifying him at one of the top dental banks. We get the buyer with the top and seller with top dental attorneys, 2 separate attorneys, of course. But I mean, it just goes on and on sometimes. It lingers and lingers and lingers. So put your practice on the market. We're here to help you. We'll market it. We'll advertise it. You as sellers, it doesn't cost you anything in the beginning. There's no upfront costs. We don't charge anything for the buyers, nothing for the sellers. There's no cost at all to get the process started. We could do all the marketing for you to get it rolling, and there's no cost to you. It's just our commission at the end. But we'll set up. You have all our expertise. We'll work closely with you. Just put this deal together. I mean, that's it. We are ready to help you and get it started. But give yourself plenty of time. At least 2 years. If you have a small practice that the gross is low and it doesn't look like, it's moving that fast. Just give yourself that time period and you should be okay. It eventually will sell. Somebody's going to buy it. Under the worst circumstances, it becomes a record sale. And usually we're able to move that as time goes on, get it done. Either way, we're here to help you. Let us know if we can help you at any time. Just call us. We have the experience, the time to help you, and we'll put in the dedication. Where possible, we try to be there when we show the practices also, not just send people on visits to see you. We like to be there, and we'll show up. Myself or one of my CPA accountants will try to be there when possible. We are in different states, so we always can't be there all the time, but we try. And this represent you as the seller and accompany the buyer. So thank you for listening.